Hey y'all, it's Tati. I am back. This time not with a review, more of a rant. I just finished watching AEW Dynamite and I enjoyed a lot about it. However, there's some things that I didn't enjoy. First of all, I want to say that I absolutely love AEW. I do enjoy it for the most part. I don't think anything is perfect in this world. Nothing in this world is perfect. And that includes pro wrestling, as much as I love it so much. However, there is a problem with AEW, and I feel like until that has changed, we're going to just keep seeing the same things over and over again. First of all, I want to say I started getting into AEW. I fell into a bad depression about losing my mom back in 2020, and I just thought watching pro wrestling would just, put me in a place where I would just feel better for a while, I tried watching WWE again, and that didn't help. I didn't think that they were just as entertaining as I wanted them to be. I tried AEW at first, and I didn't like it, so I would just watch, old stuff, And somehow I got back into watching AEW and actually falling in love with it, and here I am, never missing a show. Whatever it's Dark Elevation, Dynamite, Rampage, pay-per-views, whatever, I'm watching it. So now, here we are, 2023. Before I get into the bad, I want to say people don't give enough credit to AEW for everything that they have accomplished. We got companies that has come and gone, promotions coming and going these past 20 years, 30 years, and haven't been able to accomplish the things that AEW has accomplished. So kudos to them for that. Look at Impact. They would love to do as well as AEW does currently. Then they've been around 20 years this year, I think, or maybe last year, something like that. So I feel like people, they probably watch 2 episodes and they just complain. They see something they don't like and they shit all over AEW. And those people, your criticisms don't really matter, in my opinion. If you don't invest yourself into watching it before you can actually start seeing things that they're not doing well, then I don't think that you're truly having a true opinion based off of what they're really doing that they're fucking up. If you're only watching 2 episodes, you're not truly going to see what those things are. Now, I have been watching consistently for over a year and a half, every day. So at first, everything seems like, oh, this is so cool, I love it. And as time went by, I see what's not working and what's working. So, number one thing, Tony Khan. While he helped make this whole thing, he's also the reason why things aren't working. Number one is because he is not a booker. And I remember watching an interview that he did with Swerve have a podcast, and on that interview he said he used to do fantasy booking, had a little notebook where he would write, shows and all that stuff and how he thought things should be done. And I mean, that's cool. Like, what wrestling fan have not done that? So now fast forward to 2019, I think it was. Daddy Khan got you some money and help fund this promotion of yours, along with the Bucks, Kenny Omega, Chris Jericho, and a whole bunch of people that people didn't even know. Y'all put on a show and did really, really well. And then from there, you had a weekly televised show, and then you added another show, and the rest is history. I think they've done a really great job. However, the issue is that Tony isn't a booker. And sometimes, a lot of times, these shows or portions of the show fall flat because of the inexperience that he lacks. He doesn't have the experience. Tony Khan has a great team behind him. He has people like JR back there. He has Dean Malenko back there. He has Arn Anderson. He has a whole bunch of people back there. Jake the Snake Roberts, a lot of legends that are back there who have experience as wrestlers, experiences as bookers, shit, even Excalibur over there, doing commentating, and he has experience with PWG. All these people who have experience on your team, and it still feels like you're just writing in your little fantasy wrestling notebook at this point. Now, there are things that are really, really good, while there are things that just seems a little bit like, who the fuck came up with this idea? Number one thing that I cannot stand at this point is the interference. They rely on that so much. You mean to tell me you're a good heel when you got an entourage that will come in and do your dirty work for you during your match? Is that all being a heel is? And on top of that, you have interference going on in almost every freaking match. And it's like, how is this even bearable at this point? Why can't a heel just do their dirty work on their own? Like, what sense does it make for you to do that all freaking night? It's gotten to the point where I just sit there and be like, yeah, so-and-so coming out. And in 2 seconds, that so-and-so came out. It's starting to get really, really predictable as far as the whole interference thing go. And then there's like this thing where everybody needs to be part of a group type of thing. Swerve Strickland do not need to be part of no damn group. And on top of that, they merge the Mogul affiliates with the Embassy, which is just Brian Cage. Where the rest of the Embassy at? To make a super group. Why? Why do we need that? What y'all should have been doing is taking your time with the Embassy and making them a really strong trio rather than mingling them with Swerve and the other two dudes that roll around with him that are injured. It's not necessary. Absolutely not. There is a difference between I wrote this in my notebook and this is what's worked for me versus I have under 1 million people watching every week. What is the best thing to do for them to be entertained? What I like as a person is not the same as what I can offer as a booker for a whole bunch of people to be watching at home and investing into my show that I put in millions, maybe even $1 billion into at this point. All those people back there, and Tony Khan, he should have all these people with experiences to say, no, this doesn't work. Don't do this. And for him to say, okay, what should we do? Matter of fact, I think he should fall all the way back and have a team of experienced bookers to do these shows. Absolutely. One of the people I do think he would benefit from, but I'm pretty sure he'll say no, Dutch Mantel. He has experience of booking all over the United States, Puerto Rico, and even outside of the United States. He has a vast amount of knowledge of the wrestling world. What I really need to get a lot of these legends on board to help out with the shows, because once they're gone. These people were around when pro wrestling was truly at its best, before Vince McMahon came around and, made it all about sports entertainment. So these people who are still kicking it these days, who have been there, done that, give them a call and pay them for their opinions. Pay them and say, hey man, help me with so-and-so wrestler and how we can get them up. Pay them. You got the money, pay them. And you have a much more interesting show. The women's division, I'm not even going to get into that. That's just so crazy. Like, no matter what promotion it is, they just cannot get the women's divisions right. They can't get it. I just don't know what it is. I've yet to really see any promotion really do a solid job with the ladies. I just don't know what it is. Now, we have gotten great matches. They have great wrestlers, female wrestlers. They're just not hitting the nail when it comes to these stories, where it comes to how to utilize some of these girls that I mean, Jade, I love her. She's so beautiful. Oh my God, I could stare at her all day. But that's pretty much it. I can't watch any of her matches because they're not great. She's not a great wrestler. And she needs help. Take the title off of her and get her some help. The streak does nothing for her. I can't remember any of her damn matches. What's the point of having a streak when you can't remember what they've done with that damn streak? There's so many issues here that needs to be addressed, and he has the right people. Should they probably be working with people we don't even know about, who can truly help AEW with these numbers? You know, to me personally, I don't really care about ratings, but at the end of the day, it does tell you something. It tells you how many people are enjoying your shows. It tells you how many people enjoyed it last week versus how many people enjoying it this week. So you could know what's working and what's not. And sometimes being happy with what you have isn't enough. You have a company and you want it to do the best it could possibly do. So, you know, this little BS that's part of these shows are just not enough. I've always thought that if they did another hour of Rampage, that would help. But then that would just give another hour of bullshit booking. And lately, Rampage have not been that great. Somebody needs to pull Tony Khan aside and be like, hey, this is working, but this ain't working. You need to fix that. You need to have a team of people to fix these things. I don't want to hear about, well, my friend works this, like this is just so weird. This situation like this really do take that rant that CM Punk had and make it factual. Everything that he said. I can give two shits about the Bucks, but they have put themselves in situations where it's like they're helping themselves versus helping that whole fucking locker room. Putting themselves first. Well, what is that? That is just so strange to me. I just don't understand it. I really do feel like AEW, they're sort of in the right path, but they're not there yet. And number one thing that Tony needs to do is keep that shit out of his mind that he is in competition with WWE. WWE has been around for 70 fucking years. Vince McMahon has been running it. Well, Vince McMahon Jr. has been running it for 40 fucking years. And for everybody who thought that because Vince McMahon said he retired, that he was gone, he ain't going nowhere. At all. Not for 1 second did I believe that Vince McMahon retired and just fucking went to a group home and now he's with other seniors living the rest of his life. No way. He's been running this thing for 40 years. You think he was just gonna back off? Look at where he's at now. He's right back to where he was. And he just sold the company for whatever X amount of billions of dollars. Absolutely insane. And then we have people who say whenever they see something bad going on any WWE program, it's Vince McMahon who booked this shit. Once they see something good, it's Triple H. Triple H is not even a booker himself. He is the boss's son-in-law. He was a wrestler. So yeah, he had experience in the business, but he's not an experienced booker either. You know? So I do feel like, yes, he's had some fresh ideas for WWE, but that doesn't make him the perfect booker, because now if you see something bad, it's Vince McMahon. And if we see something good, it's Triple H. And then with AEW, if it's something bad, it's definitely Tony Khan. Because it doesn't seem like he's giving other people the opportunity to take over. I feel like if he, just because you know you're running this company, the company is yours, you should be under someone's wing who has the experience with running this type of business. And I think it's really starting to show lately that while some things are going great, other things not so great. And it's difficult to enjoy these shows where it feels like, certain things are going good and other things aren't. And it's like, hey, you got a team of people, some of the best people in this industry back there. Use them. Use them while you still got this damn company. Because you never know what's going to happen in another 5 years. Now, in 5 years, do I think they'll still be around? I think so. They could be doing a lot more worse in 5 years. That might be true. But they still, 4 years, they've accomplished a lot. But unfortunately, they're making those type of mistakes that I feel like y'all should be past those things by now. I don't expect anything perfect, but don't give us the same old bullshit. How many times do I have to see these outcast girls versus the same group of girls? Sky Blue, Riho, Willow. Every fucking week is another variation of these girls. Like, come on. This is just so insane. And Rampage is not doing so well. I don't know about the ratings. I really don't follow that. But am I sports entertained when it comes to that? Nope. Some of them just feel like it just don't make sense at all. But on the upside, they are doing a really great job with ROH. Whoever it is that's over there that's helping them out is doing a good job and should, come on over to AEW and help out a little bit. We could surely use that over there. So thoroughly, I've been enjoying ROH since they started back again, like over a month ago. However, they started to slip like last week where I didn't really enjoy it that much. But they're pretty good if you want to see a show full of good wrestling. However, your biggest shows you're slipping too much with, and Tony Khan needs to fall back and let a team of people who have experience with booking, take over. So we can at least see there's even any chance of better things happening for AEW. And you know what? I really do think there'll be better chances for AEW. Absolutely. If Tony Khan just keeps himself far away from making those big choices. I feel like he has the final say so about everything, and it's not looking good with everything. Yeah, I just really hope they change those things because I do have high hopes for them. I like them a lot. I'm only saying all these things because I actually care. If I didn't care, I wouldn't even come on camera and even talk about it at all. I'll just be like, whatever, another wrestling company coming and going. But I feel like they have a really great potential to be something very, very great within the wrestling world. They just really need the right people to make that happen. Guys, thanks for watching my video. I'll be back with my review for Dynamite. Bye.